welcome to game number 2 between DIMAGA and WhiteRa, this time classic Starcraft 2 map, Lost Temple. DIMAGA's in red and WhiteRa's in blue. Wow, I have to say that the last game was simply strange, to say the least. DuckloadRa started off pretty strong, using a better unit composition and for a little bit of early harass, denying the Zerg an expansion, but then DIMAGA simply outplayed the Protoss in units, both players opting to go for massive armies of a lot of different units, such as it was not getting a good unit composition and having a little bit of everything and having the battles being decided by, I don't know, a little bit of luck, a little bit of better micromanagement, and in the end just DIMAGA won. DIMAGA won. Here's the scout for DuckloadRa. So DuckloadRa actually scouting DIMAGA pretty fast. Again, same side of the map, so there's no possibility of these guys actually separating the map the way it's supposed to. Like this, it's gonna be separated this way, which means that the high yields are gonna be very contested. So look for the high yields to be very contested, unless DIMAGA simply decides, screw it, I'm gonna expand somewhere like here and not let the Protoss know that I'm going on 2 base. Right now DIMAGA again opting to go for that early spawning pool, while WhiteRa opts to wall himself in. And this is I don't know, this is an interesting map for harassment. I have no idea how to say. I'm just surprised by the last game. I didn't expect it to go the way it did. Not necessarily in DIMAGA's favor. I'm just saying that I expected a little bit more harassment from each player, a little bit more tenacity from each player, and not let it come down to just who has the better micromanagement in a just flurry of units. I mean, DIMAGA had Hydralisks, Roaches, Lings, Hydra, and Mutas. That's 4 types of different units, and Queens. He did actually have quite a few Queens in his offensive army, while DuckloadRa had Colossus, Void Rays, couple of Phoenix, Stalkers, Zealots. So big unit composition, a lot of diversity, but nothing. Oh, and sentries, of course, and nothing really solid. A great Protoss play is Blink Stalkers Colossus. Blink Stalker Colossus is just really hard. Colossus do a fixed amount of damage to everything, and you can use them to take out any kind of ground forces, really fast from a big distance. And with a lot of Blink Stalkers you can soak up a lot of the range damage, a lot of the ground damage. Also you can use them to blink on top of any kind of anti-air units used against the Colossus. Blink Stalkers Colossus is one of the builds that I mostly love about Protoss, despite the fact that I don't play it. I find it extremely hard to counter because nothing can really break that. Probably ultras, probably some long-range shelling, but still it's really hard to break that kind of build. Mass Stalkers, of course, a couple of sentries, and to make sure Guardian Shield is up, just 2 or 3, and maybe an Observer to spot any kind of invisible units, just throwing it in there. Now DIMAGA actually opting to go for a lot of Zerglings. No Banelings nest as of yet, so no Roach Warren. So I was thinking that this mass amount of Zerglings might result in a Banelings nest. No such thing. We do have a Stalker, Zealot, and a Sentry here for the defensive, so despite the fact that there are a lot of Zerglings here, no way they're getting inside the base. DIMAGA securing his second War Gate tech on the way, 3 gateways. So right now DuckloadRa is, if he lays down a couple of more gateways, I think that he's gonna go for a 5-gate real powerful push. We'll see if that happens. No, considering his movement and the fact that he has a lot of minerals stored up. Yeah, there it is. Actually opting to go for an expansion. I was hoping DuckloadRa in this position would actually decide to, you know, go for broke, try to win by applying a lot of pressure to the Zerg. But I suppose he's actually trying to go a safer build. a more economical build because didn't take nothing away from WhiteRa. He is a great player, and the last game could have probably gone either way. So DuckloadRa is probably opting to say, hey, I'm gonna play this match again, and if it comes down to uh, me losing, I'd rather lose with my best play than just try to throw myself at the opponent. So, let's have this last fight. DuckloadRa actually trying to do a little bit of damage. Only Lynx here for the defensive, and this Spine Crawler. The Spine Crawler is probably the most effective defense in DiMAGA's unit composition because of its huge range and the fact that it can simply guard the ramp and the entrance. Lynx can get us around. There's a queen here to transfuse the Spine Crawler in case needed. Now DuckloadRa actually reinforcing his army, getting a forge, so trying to secure a wall in. However, wall in with pylons, not the best and brightest idea. Pylons can fall down very fast, and once they do, you have an opening and you have unpowered buildings. And you do not want unpowered buildings as a Protoss. Never, ever, ever. Forge and Stargate, so very similar play from last game, which really surprises me. But again, I'm saying that DuckloadRa is probably going a safer build than instead of going something crazy. DuckloadRa is not necessarily known for, oh my god, where did that come from? But he's actually known for solid builds, for powerful builds, for crushing his opponent through numbers and through ability instead of actually bringing something completely unexpected and making it work. That's TLO. And whoa, this is interesting. And there we have an Overseer, and the Overseer will probably doesn't have enough for Contaminate, but will probably just scout here really fast, seeing everything what's going on. Gonna see that there's a what on the way. There's a WhiteRa on the way. And actually dying there. Probably was hoping to get off a Contaminate on the Stargate, but didn't happen. Did not happen. Still no lair, Guile reconstruction, so road speed again. Nothing to source. Robotics facility, so very similar play from DuckloadRa. We'll see how many Void Rays he actually decides to get. Now this is a great position. This is a great map for Void Rays because you can use them for harass right here. The Zerg will not have vision on the high ground, and will be able to shoot from the high ground very easily. He could actually warp in a couple of stalkers or maybe a pylon and a few cannons to keep harassment. Zerg can do the same by just pooping down creep and laying down a couple of Spine Crawlers. But here comes an attack. A lot of roaches here, but there are a lot of sentries to wall them off and a couple of stalkers. DiMAGA deciding not to engage that, and out the Void Ray is gonna. What is the Void Ray gonna do? Burrow here. So DiMAGA can't. WhiteRa can't see this. He knows that he's flying right over burrowed roaches. Well, he doesn't know that he's flying. However, the Zerglings gave it away. The Zerglings being burrowed. Now DuckloadRa knows that there's burrow on the way, and bringing in two Void Rays here. I don't know if this is such a great idea because now DiMAGA knows what's going on, and Spire already up, Robotics Bay for Colossus pretty soon, and DiMAGA has already secured his third on the other side of the map, which is really good. And there are the roaches spawning up, and there we go. DuckloadRa chasing, but popping back in, and there's a creep tumor. Now DuckloadRa is in a bit of a jam right now. He has no idea that this base is up. Oh, very nice. Securing his own. Very nice. Securing his own third on the island. And probably gonna try and help it. There's a couple of stalkers being warped in, probably via Warp Prism, and here comes the mutas, a lot of mutas, and here comes the mutas to get the vision. Roaches are gonna get a couple of shots off, and there's the Void Ray dying, and the mutas will probably finish off the army because there aren't that many stalkers. There's a Warp Prism on the map. Yes, there's a Warp Prism on the map, and this expansion is slowly getting defended, as you can see. Getting up a couple of photon cannons. Should be laying down a second pylon pretty soon, because if the pylon falls, everything falls. A couple of stalkers here. However, as you can see, DiMaga is already opting to secure this map, and will probably try to go in a semicircle like this. This is a safe high yield for him to get right now. If he secures this high yield and has this portion of the map, he will be able to clearly and easily defend it. Another little bit of weapons, but again, Muta's count right now is just dominate. Yes, Mutas are dominate. No, no, where are you going, War Prison? No, no, that was a bad move by DiMaga, but a bad move by DuckloadRa, because he just revealed his base here. He just revealed his base here, and now the Mutas know, hey, we can actually have a base for constant harass that doesn't have the possibility to be defended that fast. And if these Mutas come in and take out the pylon, oh, this base is gonna go down really fast. And here comes Mutas trying to do a little bit of damage, but nothing of the sort. And as I said, the Mutas are just idling on the expansion. I think they're afraid that there are a lot of cannons here, but if they only knew. Let's see, does DiMaga actually have vision of that map? No, only has a small vision. Here's a little bit of engagement. Nope, a little bit just trying to snipe off a creep tumor, so not the best of tactics. Production tab says Colossus on the way with extended thermal lance, which is pretty strange to get right now, because roaches and mutas, a lot of mutas moving out across the map. Whoa, pylon right here. This pylon is actually has scouted this expansion. Has it scouted both expansions? I have no idea. DuckloadRa. Yes, DuckloadRa has spotted both expansions, so he right now knows he's in a awful position, and I mean awful position to be in, because the Zerg is on 1, 2, 3, 4 base, while he's only on 3, and just that is bad. And right now, let's look at the army tab. DiMaga's ahead. WhiteRa has again a very strange unit composition. Has a lot more stalkers. If we look at it, he has a lot more stalkers, 2 Colossus, 4 Void Rays, a couple of Zealots, and a couple of sentries. I would lose the Zealots. I would honestly and openly lose the Zealots, because they're just cannon meat at the moment. There's nothing for them to do. They'll probably take out 2 or 3 Zerglings, and let's face it, that's not a valuable exchange. These are a lot of mutas. How many mutas? 25 mutas, and they're probably gonna do exactly what I said. Coming in here, whoa, focusing down a stalker, focusing down another stalker, doesn't realize that there's only one pylon here. This pylon, and going for the cannons, and as I said, this expansion was revealed and was taken out really, really fast. Only you losing a couple of mutas, leaving 2 mutas just to, you know, spank around DiMaga, spank around WhiteRa, because he knows he's in a bad position. However, leaving pylons up allows for a couple of warpins, and now DiMaga has to move out of there. However, he did completely destroy a expansion. As you can see, harvester count difference is quite huge, and I have no idea how DuckloadRa can come back. And here's the engagement. A lot of mutas, force field separating the army, but won't do that much. Guardian shields to protect. Colossus are... I have no idea who's shooting what in there. Mutas are not focusing down the Colossus, actually going for the stalkers, and DuckloadRa actually winning that exchange, but not opting to continue the push, because he fears that Zerg reinforcement is too powerful. But here comes a lot of more units, warpins on the cannon, securing a high yield. Again, not the best high yield to secure, but there's another Guardian shield, and here comes the fight. Colossus doing a lot of damage on the ground, and there's not much on the ground. There are a lot of stalkers to defend against this, and very nice. This army is actually gonna do it. And what did it do it with? In my opinion, a lot of stalkers. What did it do with? A lot of stalkers, Colossus, and a couple of sentries. That's what the DuckloadRa needed, and DuckloadRa wins the game 1-1. We go into game number 3. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in a couple of seconds with game number 3.